Good afternoon, Dr. Vivek. Now I can say that good afternoon. And today I will be talking about thyroid. And since the corona has taught us the namaste, so a big namaste to you. Okay. So now I will be starting. Shock. एक और दो. Actually, thyroid is a very small topic, but it is relevant if we talk a little about little anatomy before starting to actual biochemistry. So, it is the thyroid gland, and it is present in our neck. You can say that a trachea is starting at the point where thyroid is there. So it is the structure of thyroid, and we are having two anterior lobes and two posterior lobes in thyroid. And there is a remarkable system of this thyroid gland that we are having some cells in this. We are having some cells in it. These are known as follicular cells. These are follicular cells. These follicular cells secrete thyroid hormones. T3 hormone and T4 hormones, they are secreted by this thyroid. And sometimes we are getting a little endocrine structure here also. These are C cells, and these are secreting calcitonin. It is calcium lowering hormone, calcitonin, so which is also secreted by the thyroid, but not by the follicular cells. It is by the C cells. But anyhow, our purpose is to see the biosynthesis of thyroid hormone, the T3 and T4 hormones. So I will be telling you those. So now you are having an idea of the thyroid, and what we are having the follicular cells, and you will see the cells in such a structure that we are getting a lumen in between, and we are having cells around that. Right? So it is the structure of follicular cell. Okay. So now I draw a structure of big follicular cell. It is a big follicular cell. And then we are having blood capillaries and surrounding this thyroid cell. These are blood capillaries. So what is happening that the raw material of the thyroid hormones is provided by the blood. How and what it is providing? It is providing iodine in the blood. The source of iodine is in our diet. We take iodine in our diet. But whatever we take in our diet, the only 20% of iodine of our diet is taken by the follicular cells, and 80% of iodine is going in the urine, it is excreted. So we can utilize the iodine up to 20% maximally. Before 1996, our salt was not iodinized. After that, the salt has become the iodified. The iodine is provided in the salt, and really, after that, the cases of hypothyroidism are tremendously down. Otherwise, before that, there were many cases of hypothyroidism, and even in some belts, the iodine content in the soil is also less. So you will find that there is a chance of hypothyroidism in the population of those areas where we are having the less content of iodine in the soil. So this iodine is coming in this interstitial space, and it is I minus, I minus, I minus, I minus. Okay? Before coming to this cell, in the blood cells, this iodine is coming in our diet. But here, you will find that these follicular cells are continuously grabbing the iodine. So at a particular time, we are having a greater iodine in the cell than outer cell atmosphere. So what is happening? That iodine pumps are there at the surface of these cells. These are iodine pumps. So iodine is coming against the concentration gradient, means the content in the cell is high and the iodine content is lesser in outside. So it is the flow against the concentration gradient in the follicular cell by means of thyroid pump. Okay. After its trapping into the follicular cell, this iodine is coming in the lumen. And we are having an enzyme in the lumen enzyme. Okay, the name of this enzyme is thyroid peroxidase. It is thyroid peroxidase. It is very, very laborious enzyme, and it is mediating many functions here. The first function of this enzyme is the change of iodide ions into full iodine, that is I2. So one function of this enzyme is making iodine. The second function of this enzyme is very important, and that is the biosynthesis of a protein known as thyroglobulins. So what is happening it is cell, and so many times I've told you, it is cells, and we are having a nucleus here. So in the nucleus, we are having a DNA for the for the protein synthesis. So a messenger RNA is coming out, and of course it is reaching to ribosome, and then we are having a protein here formed. Okay, so what is happening? After the formation of this protein that is known as thyroglobulin, once it is biosynthesized, then it is taken up by endoplasmic reticulum. Why, I will tell you. थोड़ा हटा दो इसको. Here I will make. This is thyroglobulin. So it is taken by the endoplasmic reticulum, which is making it glycosylated. It is adding sugar moiety to thyroglobulin, and after that this is adding to Golgi complex, the Golgi bodies, and then it is coming out as a mature thyroglobulin here. And you all know that the proteins are made up of amino acids. In this protein, thyroglobulins, there is excess of amino acid tyrosine, right? So many amino acids will be there. So you can say it is tyrosine, it is tyrosine, it is another enzyme, amino acid, it is another, it is another. Again you can say it is tyrosine, then again another amino acid, and again you will find many tyrosines. They all are tyrosine amino acid. Okay, if you are an MBBS student, so sometime we ask you how many amino acids you know, that they will tell 20 amino acids. Then how many aromatic amino acids are there? They will tell us tryptophan and tyrosine. How many are having iodine content? Tyrosine. So these are the tyrosine amino acids. So what will happen? This iodine will go and bind to the tyrosine hormones, tyrosines amino acids. Sometimes you will see two iodines are bind. Sometimes you will find only one tyrosine. Here also one, here two, here two, here one, here two, one. Like that you will find the different tyrosines are adding, iodines are adding to tyrosines. Okay. Then it is you can say if one iodine is attached to a particular tyrosine, it is monoiodothyronine. Monoiodothyronine. And if it is two, then it is diiodothyronine. Okay, here one MIT, here two DIT, here two DIT, here one MIT, here two DIT, here one MIT. Like that, the iodines are trapped by the tyrosine amino acid, and we are having many MITs, many DITs in a very abnormal way. It is not the thing that systematic they are arranged. No, when tyrosine is not arranged systematically, then how we can say that our iodine will be systematized. So DITs and MITs are formed, and we are having many DITs, many MITs. When a DIT and MIT are combining, coupling, we are having triiodothyronine, and that is T3. And when we see that the two DITs are coupled, we will be having tetrahydrothyronine, that is T3 and T4. These are the hormones of the thyroid gland. So how these hormones are formed in the follicular cell? Right? They are taken from the blood, and since iodine is less in the blood and more in the follicular cells, it is the pump which is facilitating a concentration gradient against a concentration gradient, and many iodides are inside the follicular cell. Then this enzyme is changing iodines into iodine. Even the biosynthesis of thyroglobulin is influenced by this enzyme peroxidase. So peroxidase is doing many functions here, and it is the single enzyme here which is doing many functions together, and we are getting many T3s and many T4 molecules. Okay, so these hormones are secreted by the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, I told you that only 20% of the iodine is taken by the thyroid. So there may be two conditions. One is hypothyroidism and one is hyperthyroidism. The hypothyroidism is that where T3 and T4 are in lesser concentration, and hyperthyroidism is that when T3 and T4 are in excess. This thyroid hormone and it's the release of T3 and T4 is under the control of hypothalamus, which is secreting TSH. So TSH is the hormone which is secreted by the hypothalamus, T3 and T4 are under the control of TSH, and this TSH is under the control of TRH. Okay, so whenever we are going for the thyroid profile, we are getting T3, T4 and TSH. When thyroid biosynthesis is less, means under the control of hypothyroidism, you will find this TSH is increased. Why? Because T3, T4 is reduced, so more and more TSH is coming out to increase the concentration of T3 and T4. And since our iodine trapping system is defective here and we are getting a T3, T4 in a lesser concentration, then you will find the TSH in a major concentration. So characters of hypothyroidism: loss of appetite, increase of weight, unnecessary sweating, irritability, and a low BMR. Treatment part is the prescribing of thyroxine or the iodine supplementing drugs. These drugs should be taken empty stomach in the morning, and sometimes the patients are asking that how long I should take this medicine. Should I take the medicine all over of life? I can't say that it's a medicine. It is a supplement. It is not a medicine, it is a supplement that since your body iodine is insufficient to make the T3 and T4 hormones, we are giving you iodine from outside and then you are taking. So supplement like the other supplements, like the other vitamins you are taking that thyroid also. So it is the, you can say it is not the drug, it is a supplement that you are taking. And okay, supplement is taken all over life, you can say, so you can say that this drug is taken many times. So drug doses are decided by the concentration of TSH. If TSH is increased, a different dose is giving. If TSH is slightly down, then different concentration of dose is giving. Okay, and the concentration of dose is decided from 0.25 milligrams to even 50 and 75 milligrams. Yeah. So that is the concentration of hypothyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a different condition that we are having a more and of T3 and T4 biosynthesized, and to stop its synthesis, the TSH concentration is getting lowered. Because TSH will control its biosynthesis, so it will start to stop it. So you will getting the TSH concentration is less in the hyperthyroidism. These are, and T3 and T4 conditions, hormones are increased in the hyperthyroidism. Antithyroid drugs are used. Okay, antithyroid drugs are used in that condition. Okay, characters are different. Sometimes patients ask that if I miss the drug, then what I should do? Should I take in the afternoon after lunch, or if can I take in the morning after breakfast? Okay, if you missed the drug, the next day you will have to take the double dose of the drug, but it is not the thing that you will take after food. Always you will take fast, you will make empty stomach, you will take the thyroid drug, but if you miss today, next day you will take the double drug, otherwise routine, and third day your normal dose. So it is all about the T3, T4 and TSH biosynthesis. Thank you very much.